Welcome to Gurhm's Garage Gaming News, everyone. This is a new video for the channel where on a monthly basis I'll be meeting with you to talk about and discuss all the latest and upcoming gaming news that I find most exciting and interesting. We're going to be covering game updates, upcoming releases, and industry news, and all sorts of cool shit. So thank you very much for tuning in, and let's get right into it with PUBG. And I'm very excited to talk about PUBG because on December 20th, it's going to be making a huge transition going from early access to its 1.0 official release. Let's check it out. As we say goodbye to early access with PUBG, I want to acknowledge one of its biggest achievements, its game sales. They are estimated to be north of 13 million copies. That would put Bluehole's revenue around $400 million. And that doesn't include the cost of goods sold, and it also doesn't include purchases for in-game items. That is huge. The cost to develop a game is roughly 30%, maybe a little bit more. So if you take 30% from $400 million, that is a ton of profit. My biggest question is, how is that going to support the new additions to the official release? There is going to be a bunch of new features they're adding in for the 1.0 release, which is a new map, new vehicles, some new weapons, and even new mechanics in the game where you can vault and climb up obstacles. But is it enough? Is the game going to run well when you turn the graphics up? Is the game going to look good when you turn the graphics up? Is it going to be optimized enough where it can look good and you can actually be competitive online? Are the servers going to run well enough so that you can actually be competitive? There's a lot of questions that I have about 1.0 release, and I've spent a bunch of time in the test server, and so far, I gotta say that I'm a little bit underwhelmed, and I'm pretty concerned that some of these issues aren't gonna be fixed. My biggest concerns are server performance, optimization, and graphics. I have a love-hate relationship with PUBG. It's what I like to call one of the funnest pieces of shit to play. To be honest, Bluehole has continued to show the support that the game needs by making the organizational changes, adding in updates, and making the investments needed to get PUBG to 1.0 in 2018. What I want to see is them continue to do that after its official release. Keep optimizing, keep adding content, keep supporting the game. If they do that, I'll keep playing it because I have a load of fun in that world. I just want to see it run and play and look well. All the ingredients are there for PUBG. Bluehole just needs to cook it right. So stay tuned for that. That's December 20th. Let's move on and talk about Escape from Tarkov. Now, I'm really excited to talk about this game. It's still in beta, but there's server test loading going on and some other exciting things that I want to share with you before the end of the year. Let's check it out. If you haven't heard about Escape from Tarkov yet, I'll be following it on my channel through its release. It was developed by Battlestate Games, who's calling it a hardcore and realistic online first-person action RPG/simulator with MMO features and a story-driven walkthrough. Yeah, okay. Whether or not that's actually what it's going to be, I will say that my early impressions, just seeing gameplay footage and trailers of the game, are that the animations and mechanics are really amazing, and it looks like they've created a beautiful world with a very cool setting. I'm not going to lie though, a big part of me is really just chasing what I call the Stalker Dragon. Stalker is my #1 game series, and ever since the death of Stalker 2, I've been dying for the 4th video game installment set in that world. And I really hope Escape from Tarkov will provide some kind of experience like that. Now, there's no sci-fi elements, and it's unclear how interesting or deep the quote-unquote story-driven walkthroughs will be. However, Battlestate Games definitely has my attention here. The upcoming beta tests are targeting server loads. So anyone who's pre-ordered can participate in the testing with a minimized version of the game. And if you go to the website now and register, they'll be randomly picking test players to participate in the process. I'm definitely going to try and participate in the beta. And if any of you are playing it or are going to try and participate as well, get back to me and let me know what your early impressions are. I would love to talk with you about what you think is good or bad about the game so far. Its official release is still to be determined, but they're targeting 2018, so I'll be covering the game as we move forward. Okay, let's move on, and the next thing we're going to talk about is Destiny 2, which just released an expansion, The Curse of Osiris. You can buy it for around $30 depending on your regional equivalent, and let's check it out because there's a bunch of new features and new content that Bungie just added to the game. The new expansion adds missions, story development, and what hopefully will be increased gameplay difficulty. I haven't picked it up yet, but I have been playing Destiny 2, and aside from looking beautiful, having some fun, simple mechanics, and being a pretty chill sci-fi world to hang out in with my homies, it's just so easy. And I'm not exaggerating here. Destiny 2 is easy. Easy to the point where I've literally stopped and asked myself while playing it, why am I still playing this game? Many times I'll finish a mission or get through an area and think, wow, that's it? Or I won't even realize that it's over. It just lacks this huge gameplay element that's fulfilling in games for me, where I want a real challenge and a reward for achieving something in the game. That's how chill this game is in my experience. And the game doesn't have a difficulty option. Once you get past the end game, it does get a little bit more challenging with the strikes being timed and having modifiers. And all that is really good stuff. They just need to take it 2 to 5 more steps farther and really make it a challenge. The expansion is released, and on top of the added story gameplay, it also includes the prestige and heroic difficulties on the strikes in Nightfall, which I'm really hoping are going to make the game more difficult and rewarding to play. And lastly, it adds on a layer to the current raid. Now, this layer is going to be the first of 2 layers. The second layer to the current raid will be released in 2018 with the second big expansion to the game. So, it's currently out. I'm going to pick it up soon. If you want to wait to hear what my impressions are, I'll be covering it in one of the future gaming news videos, so stay tuned and I'll let you guys know what I think. Next up, let's talk about Long Dark. And I'm really excited to cover this because Hinterland has just released a new update and there's lots of good stuff to talk about here. The Long Dark, for me, is one of the best survival and exploration games that have been released in a long time. Maybe ever. It's just so good. Let's check it out. The update adds on a ton of changes to both story mode and survival mode. In story mode, they've added a moose, which introduces a bunch of unique characteristics where you can hunt them to craft gear or for food. And the most interesting parts are where they will attack you. And getting attacked comes with its own specific set of damage and healing processes. So that's a cool new addition. A new save system and experience modes have also been implemented into the story mode. What this allows you to do is tailor the difficulty to your liking, and also you can save the game at any time instead of waiting for an autosave. And if you played the story mode before, you know that there is some frustrating autosave moments. I can remember it autosaved once right while I was getting attacked by a wolf, and I just couldn't get past this part. It drove me absolutely freaking crazy. So adding in a manual save system is a huge improvement to the game. Keep in mind that this new save system does not transfer over to survival mode. In survival mode, you still need to sleep or enter or exit a building to activate a save. In survival mode, you can now visit the town of Milton from story mode, which is cool. And they also added the Aurora Lights to all regions in the game. And lastly, and most importantly, they added a new custom experience toolbox. So what does this mean? What it means is that they've given us the option to customize how we'd like our survival experience to challenge us. And it looks super cool. I'm definitely going to jump in and try this out. If you want to get set somewhere that's really remote, has very little resources, have extreme weather, and animals that are really aggressive, you can set it up to be like that. So, very cool addition to the game. It doesn't supplement what the community has been asking for with mod support, but it is a step in the right direction. So, very cool. The last detail to cover with The Long Dark is, when are we going to get episode 3 of story mode? And it's still not confirmed. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. They are targeting 2018, and I'm really excited to try that out. So stay tuned, and as we move forward, I'll keep covering that on future gaming news episodes. Okay, last up, let's talk about Siege. And I'm really excited to talk about Siege because they just released a killer update where they added 3 new operators and a new map. Let's check it out. I just want to take a moment and talk a little bit about my love for Siege because I started playing it when it was in beta, and I want to say that my clan and I love this game, and Ubisoft has continued to show dedication to adding new maps and adding new characters with very cool abilities. And with this latest update, they've gone above and beyond with some very cool stuff. You've got an operator that can be invisible to cameras or drones. You've got another operator that has a stun or grenade launcher. And you've got an additional attacker who has the ability to activate vibration on the phones of all defenders, which is an absolute riot to do in the game. And on the receiving end, it's very frustrating. And one of the interesting aspects of that I've been having a lot of fun with in the game is if you kill one of the defenders and they drop their phone, you can pick up their phone, hack it, and then see through all the cameras that are set up around the map, or if there's any Valkyrie cams that have been tossed up, you can see through those. So there is a lot of cool new additions with this latest update. They've also put in a ton of game improvements and bug fixes as well. If you've never played Siege or you've been away for a while, I recommend picking it up or coming back and checking it out. The new operators are super cool, and all the added maps that they've put in have given it enough content to really enjoy the game again. And Ubisoft has also shown a commitment to continue adding on and supporting the game, which is very cool. So go check out Siege. That's it for December news, everybody. Please go to my website and check out my calendar if you want to see what my next upcoming videos are. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. The next gaming news episode will be in January, but I've got other gaming reviews coming up. So until then, GG's, and I'll see you guys next time.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell.